Hello and welcome to the Recommended Podcast. My name is Ryker, and this is my partner in crime, Brenden.
How's it going, everybody?
And this is the Recommended Podcast, where we talk about movies, TV, and entertainment media. This week, we are talking about a movie with one Robert Pattinson. We'll talk about Good Time.
Talking about Good Time.
Good Time. This is a movie that I recommended that Brenden watch. I enjoyed it when I watched it. I would recommend it still. I think it's a pretty good movie. Brenden, what did you think? This is your first time through.
This movie really messed me up. Honestly.
Yeah, it should have that effect. I think that's the desired effect that this movie is going for. Mm-hmm. The person that played the brother in this movie actually wrote or was one of the writers on Uncut Gems, which makes so much sense when you've seen Uncut Gems in this movie, because both of them are anxiety-driven, like madness romps the whole way through, and it's a lot of fun if you know what it is when you're on, when I turned on Uncut Gems for the first time, watched 10-15 minutes of it, I paused it, I looked at my wife, and I was like, I'm pretty sure this is the way this movie is the whole time. So if we want to continue, we can, but this is a lot. This is going to be a lot. And she's like, oh, we're good. And I was like, okay, so we're good, because I didn't want to ruin her night. but yeah, this movie it's a lot. There's a ton to it. So let's get cracking into it here in a bit. But first, what have you been watching? I know you said you had to come up with some stuff in between podcasts because we're recording back to back.
And I really, really did it. But yeah, man, Severance is just so good. I'm so early into it, but oh man, it's just such a great time to be alive, honestly. No, seriously. Like, the TV is incredible. This movie is just really good. I mean, honestly, I won't, I don't want to bring the room down and get all weird on everybody. I cried at the end of this movie.
You cried at the end of this movie?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So
wow,
I have a son.
okay.
I have a son who's autistic, and this just really hit me really hard. Like just feeling guilty for that. For Nick, and how Connie and how the whole thing unfolds. It's just a lot. God, dude, it's a lot. But good. This is a good way.
The good ones elicit emotions, right?
Sure.
So if you felt nothing the whole way through, then you would have had a tiptoes scenario. You know what I'm saying?
I felt nothing. I want to say, I think you're saying it wrong. You're saying Uncut Gems. I think it's Uncut Jams. Isn't it Uncut Jams? You remember that? Remember that lady? That girl? Yeah, dude.
What?
No. There's a girl in Uncut Gems. And she's being interviewed on the red carpet.
Oh.
She's like, I loved being Josh Safdie's muse in Uncut Gems. And it's like, we'll find it. We'll clip it in. Yeah, dude.
That reminds me of the SNL clip with the one banana, two banana. It was Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
That girl, the way she talks is kind of
Julia Fox. Julia Fox is Uncut Gems. Yeah, dude. Yeah, 100%. This girl right here. Look, Uncut Gems. I'm no more. I'm done.
Okay. If you said it anymore, I'd probably lose my mind. So Severance. If you haven't seen Severance is a show about a group of people that work in a building, and they are severed from the outside world. So they have a chip implanted into their head that when they enter onto the floor of their workspace, they do not know anything about their external selves. And then their external selves doesn't know anything about the work that they're doing on the inside. And it's kind of a mystery, and it's actually written and directed by Ben Stiller, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Scott is one of the actors in it, and I forgot to bring this up last time when I watched The Monkey in theaters. Adam Scott is at the very beginning of that movie. He's I guess a cameo character. He's in it for all of like 2 minutes maybe, but very fun when he is there. I have been watching a lot of movies, and I told you I was going to hold some back. So I actually have a little bit of a fun story that kind of plays into what happened with this movie as well. So I have been using my wheel to spin and see what to watch, and one of the movies that came up on my wheel was Sicario. you ever seen Sicario?
No.
Okay. Well, Sicario is it's probably like 10 years old now, maybe a little bit older than that. Probably a lot older than that. 10, 15, let's say, years. But it's got Emily Blunt and oh gosh, Del Toro. I can't remember. Benicio del Toro. Thank you. And Josh Brolin. And I wanted to watch it again. I was like, "This, I think it's a good movie. Great." So I threw it on the list when it came up. I was like, "Awesome!" So I went to go watch it, and it was on Netflix, and it said that it came out on Saturday. I was trying to watch it on Friday. I was like, "I know I saw this on somewhere," and then I found it on Amazon Prime, and it was like midnight, and I just got done. I don't know if you've seen this movie, Poor Thing.
Oh yeah, with
Emma Stone. And oh gosh, I can't remember
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo, and William Dafoe is also in that. So I watched that with my wife, and we were just popping on another movie, just doing a couple movies, and then go to sleep. And it was midnight, and I got Sicario on my wheel, so I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna, I'll toss it on. It went on Amazon, found it, put it on, and as the movie ended. I took us out to the main menu, and then it was giving me rental options if I wanted to start the movie again. And I was like, what? I was literally watching this thing. It switched services as I was watching it. So it was off of Amazon at that point. So if I paused it or shut it off, I would have not been able to get back in and watch it.
Oh,
nice. But because I was watching it, it kept me in and let me go. I was like, that's wild. It's never happened to me before.
Oh, that's funny. And
then I switched over and checked out Netflix, and there it was. It was on Netflix. I could watch it on Netflix if I wanted to. So that was like a weird timing gap. And then I just watched this movie earlier in the week. Good time. I believe it was on Max when I tossed it on, put it on, watched it, and then what I'll do is I'll take pictures for the podcast. I'll do that at some point. Sometimes I'll do it while I'm watching the movie. Other times, if it's more convenient, I'll just set up the room and take a couple pictures and be done with it. So before Brenden got here to talk about the movies, I went to take the pictures, and it was Good Time is gone. It's off of all of streaming without paying, and I was laughing to myself. I was like, "Oh, that's weird. I guess I'll just have to get the picture somewhere else." And I was waiting for Brenden to get here. Brenden shows up, and I'm like, "Yeah, I was trying to get the picture of the movie." I was like, "Did you watch this earlier this week?" He's like, "No, I paid for it earlier today," which I thought was hilarious because he had said that, "Oh, I'm gonna watch this movie," but because I couldn't record. Because I wasn't feeling well, he held off on watching it, and then when he went to watch it, it was off streaming. So
this shit's a shell game, dude. This shit's a shell game. It's crazy.
What card is the queen? What card is the queen?
I'm just glad none of these movies were on iEqui. You know what I mean? I don't know how to got that.
What about Pakwaku or whatever it was? Pakwe?
Parkway?
So did you partake in any snacks while you're watching this one?
I enjoyed a couple slices of Domino's pepperoni pizza. Domino's, I think, is the best cheap, affordable pizza chain out there. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. 2 or more items, $6.99. Dig that for the fam. What would I suggest? This is going to be.
Hold on. Last week it was Pluto. Is Big Domino getting under your skin? You get paid by Big Domino?
I mean, if they wanna, hey, we got like 2,500 followers on Instagram.
We do.
Get in with us. Doms.
Get in. This snack bar brought to you by Domino's.
Possibly. Oh, you got to beep that out though. They got to pay for that.
You got to pay for that. Well, I mean, I'm just giving them. I'm just letting them know. Maybe, right? Maybe
pay for it in free pizza. I'm going to give a really weird suggestion. It's not weird, but just like really. But I think this movie is really good. And I think it would be really enjoyable just with buttered popcorn. That is my snack. I know it's ridiculous, but I've never just given like the blasé, like just get some popcorn and watch the damn thing. That's what this is for me. So snack is buttered popcorn. That's my pick. Lame. But good.
I'm going to go a little weird.
Good. Pork rinds?
No, not pork rinds. I'm going to go with a little Debbie cupcake, the orange flavor. It's one of my I like the orange ones. I don't know why. I think it's like guilty pleasure snack. Like I don't eat them a lot, and when I do, I eat like the whole box in like a 2-day period. It's quick and fast. It's because I like had them when I was a kid, and they just have always been good. So I like just kind of got like a nostalgia vibe. It reminds me of when I was a kid. This kind of, I don't know, the relationship in this movie reminds me of like two people that were kids, and like growing up, it seemed like safe to be with the one, and like that just kind of like always is like there's a comfort zone there. So it's like a comfort food almost. So a little Debbie like orange flavored cupcake is my pick.
Okay.
Yep. So do you want to give some facts about this movie?
Let's do it. Movie, Good Time, length 1 hour and 41 minutes. Released on August 11th, 2017. Written by Ronald Bronstein. Directed by the Safdie Bros. Cast, Robert Pattinson as Connie Nikas. Benny Safdie as Nick Nikas. Buddy Duress as Ray. Talia Lennox Webster as Crystal. Jennifer Jason Leigh as Corey. Barkhad Abdi as Dash. Necro as Khalif. Peter Verby as Peter. And Sadia Mansour as Agapia Nikas, which is the grandma. Budget is $2 million. Box office is 4.1. And synopsis is a bank robber stops at nothing to free his brother from prison, launching himself into a night-long odyssey through New York's dark and dangerous criminal underworld.
I like that sounds so much. It sounds so much more dark and like well thought out than the actual like execution. It's like it sounds like the plot of a movie, but this movie is like real, like almost more real than that. Like there's a lot of reality like in it. It's almost like the dude isn't like diving into the underworld. He's stumbling through and just like whatever happens, he's rolling with the punches the whole time, and it's a fun little adventure, but it keeps you anxious the entirety of the movie.
Yeah.
So I do like it. So I have a game for us, and it's kind of it's a throwback to a game that we tried already. And I'd like to
love age gaps.
Like to well, hold on.
I'm joking.
I mean, that does kind of touch on one of the little spots in this movie.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
No, this one is one that we tried before, and I messed up because I couldn't read what my fiance wrote on the paper.
Oh, no.
I would like to play 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but we're going to do it with Good Time. We're going to try to get the good time from the movie that is on this Post-it note.
Okay.
And we're going to do this together.
Okay, good.
And I'm going to change the rules from the last time. I told you no IMDb. I think we do that, but once we hit 6, we're done.
Okay.
We fail. Mm-hmm. I don't know what this movie is. I don't know where we're going to end up. I don't know how we're going to get there, but we'll do this together.
Okay.
And then we'll like track it. I think we'll talk through obviously how we're going to move. But that's my game this week because there's a few places we could have gone. I'd like to have a few more people like available for like know that actor because like there's only 2 big actors in this movie.
Yeah,
it's like it's hard to like
it's not enough meat on the bone.
Yeah, and I wanted to go through like maybe some of Robert Pattinson's like other movies and stuff, but honestly, I'd like to do a few of his other movies. So there's I actually would love to do a week-long episode or like an episodic adventure. I would like us to explore the Twilight movies at some point. We talked about good bad movies. I think those are some good bad movies, dude. Have you seen it? You should love Twilight. You're a baseball guy. You don't vampires and Twilight series. They
I just
love
want to
baseball,
say
baby.
I can remember spending the night at your house in high school, and no offense to anybody, but you may remember this about me. I loved hanging out at your house and stuff. We were good, close friends, but at night you guys had a couple cats, and sometimes they would jump on my head when I was sleeping, and it would just scare the ever living shit out of me. And so I had a rule when I would stay at your house where I would want to sleep like in your room, but like on the floor. But I would want you to close the door because if you didn't, a cat would jump on my fucking head, and it was just literally like I would feel like I was in hell. It was scary. So I would sleep in your room, and like you'd put on a movie, and like I can remember you being like, I can remember this. You were like, "Oh, why don't we just throw out Twilight?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was tired, so I was like, "Yeah, whatever, man." But like I can remember like falling asleep, but you watching more of the movie than like I was,
dude.
Because I was sleepy.
I love those movies.
Yeah,
those movies are
This guy loves them.
Those movies are good. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get into it. Okay.
What is it?
So you want to pull up IMDb, or do you want me to? Like, I could try to do it on my phone.
Why don't we try do it without it?
I feel like we're really gonna need it, but that's fine.
Okay, is it like an old movie? Because if so, I'm gonna get mad.
I told you I have no idea what's on this.
Okay,
so that's why I wanted to have IMDb ready. So the movie we have to get to Good Time from, or Good Time 2, is Grease 2.
Grease 2.
Grease 2.
All right, I'm gonna look only because I've never seen Grease 2, and I don't even know who's in it.
Grease 2 has Michelle Pfeiffer in it.
Oh, nice.
So we should be able to get to some good space. I'm just trying to think of a movie that Michelle Pfeiffer would have been in, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Michelle Pfeiffer, Maxwell Caulfield.
I think our first jump is Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
We have to leave Grease 2 and find a movie that Michelle Pfeiffer was in that will get us to somebody that was in a movie with Robert Pattinson or something like that. So what are we working with for Michelle Pfeiffer?
There's Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Okay. So she was in Marvel.
Maleficent. She was in Endgame as well. That's going to get us a lot of options.
I just want... I guess I'm trying to pull it up too. Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think if we look at... I'm looking at Michelle Pfeiffer's stuff real quick. She was in Hairspray. She's in What Lies Beneath. One Good Day with George Clooney. Oh, it's too bad that we can't connect them through Batman's. God, if there was something she was in with like William Dafoe, that would be amazing because that would get us there in 2. Gosh, let's say. Okay, so hear me out. I know that she's in Ant-Man and the Wasp. That gives us other people. That gives us a good amount of people. But she was in Dark Shadows, which was the movie with Johnny Depp. It was a Tim Burton movie. I believe it was about like they owned it was like a vampire movie. And I'm almost certain there has to be some sort of connection to Foe from there.
Okay, so you said Dark Shadows?
Dark Shadows.
All right.
So
Dark Shadows.
I'm going to click on Dark Shadows.
This is Depp,
Yeah.
2012.
Oh, we got Ava Green. We got Johnny Depp. We have Helena Bonham Carter. Oh, my God. Helena Bonham Carter is in Harry Potter. Robert Pattinson is in Harry Potter. So he's got to pick the right... I think she's in the same...
No, Robert Pattinson is only in The Goblet of Fire.
So we have... Yeah, I know. So we just have to get to the next... We just get to Helena Bonham Carter, who puts us in the filmography for her. And she was in... she was definitely in one of the Harry Potters. I don't know which one, though.
Yeah, she's not in Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, she's in the Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, but Pattinson's dead by then, dude.
Yeah, thanks, son. But that gets us to Daniel Radcliffe, who's in every single one of them, is what I'm saying.
Oh, Radcliffe to... Oh.
Then Radcliffe
to
Goblet of Fire and the Dam.
Okay, so Dark Shadows. Okay.
So that gets us... So Grease 2 was Michelle Pfeiffer.
Then we go to Dark Shadows.
To Dark Shadows. To Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah, in Goblet of... Or in Deathly Hallows.
In Deathly Hallows. Then
to Goblet of Fire.
To Goblet of Fire through Daniel Radcliffe.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's 5.
Yeah, that's good. We did it. We did it under 6.
Okay, cool. I'm in.
Yeah. What? Okay. Come on. We can compete next time if you...
Grease 2, Kara? Grow up.
That's one of her favorite movies. What? Grease 2's like it's got some actual like pretty good songs in it.
Tiptoes is a better movie.
What are you talking about? I would love to do a musical for the podcast. It's not something that I typically do, but I think maybe like The Producers or like Mamma Mia or something like that.
Mamma Mia.
Those are some fun ones.
I haven't sang in a while, thanks. Bring that back.
Glad to get you there. But that was the game this week. It was,
I like it.
You know, it was fun. I like working with you to get to the thing. We could go through.
I like working with you too.
That we could try to get to, like, you know, we could explore the different movies that we could possibly look at. You know, Helena Bonham Carter is in like so many things, like that. Like, I should have just known that. Oh, it's a movie with Johnny Depp and Tim Burton. Helena Bonham Carter is going to be in it. I should have known that, and it would have been real easy. Honestly, if we could have found a way to get to Beetlejuice, we'd have been set. William Dafoe. I was dead set on trying to find William Dafoe as the connection because William Dafoe is in like 3 movies with Pattinson, I think.
Yeah, Lighthouse. Yeah.
So that's what I got for my game. We can start talking about this behind the scenes of movie since you give the facts already.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's give everybody their warning. We're gonna start talking about the movie. I recommend you check it out if you can find it. If you don't want to go hunting for it just now, you can hang out, listen to us. There's a lot of good elements in this movie. I don't think we're gonna spoil everything in this movie, but it's still. I've watched this movie probably 3 times now, so I think it's worth watching regardless whether or not you know what's going on or not. So I would give it a recommend. Brendan, would you recommend it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you want, go check it out. If not, hang out with us and we will talk to you about the movie in 3, 2, 1. Brendan, you want to talk about spoilies? A little bit of behind the scenes? I'm giving myself some time to pad so I can give
How long have you been with her? All actors didn't read the script, but were given a detailed backstory of their characters and were told to improvise every scene. While Robert Pattinson and Benny Safdie had scripts, but were still told to react to the others as well as they could. So, yeah, it doesn't seem like there was actually a lot of lines written in this movie, which is kind of cool. I dig that a lot.
Dude, there is one line that I love from this movie that I was almost in tears when he delivered it. It was a Robert Pattinson line. Do you know what line I'm thinking of?
No, I don't.
Okay. So it's him talking to the girl, right? They're like, they're going to go break into the amusement park and he's got her convinced they're dropping this guy off.
Yep.
And he says something like, I feel like there's something happening tonight. It's something like it's something like I feel like it's my calling in the universe. It's deeply connected, and I feel like you're part of it. Do you feel that, or am I just being a? He says, he drops a hard F. He's like, or am I just being a? I'm not gonna say the word. And she's like, yeah, I feel that. And he goes, okay, great. I'm going to go take a shit in this guy's house. I'll be right back. It was the most insane set of dialogue that I've heard in so long. I loved it. So you saying that a lot of it was on the spot and kind of ad-libbed? I'm totally there. I see it. I got you.
I do remember that.
That is so ridiculous. That's
the last thing he says to her.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't really acknowledge her again at that point later on.
But they're done so.
Yeah, that's funny.
Unsatisfied with the look of rental fake money and needing lots of it for the bank robbery scene, the Safdie brothers tasked their prop department with making their own. According to Josh Safdie, part of the production office actually became a counterfeiting mill. One guy literally didn't say a word to anyone. He just sat there cutting money all day long. At one point, Pattinson, who regularly would go out in character and costume, accidentally used counterfeit bills to buy a pack of cigarettes. So it must have worked. Interesting. The scene where Connie enters the hospital was shot in an active emergency room with real patients. Those people are real people. And then a couple of other things, or I guess last thing here. This is a little bit long one, but I like it. So Robert Pattinson and Benny Safdie actually worked in character at a car wash in Queens together for a camera test and as part of the preparation for their brotherly relationship. Pattinson would go as Connie to show Nick how to function and be a part of the normal society by drawing the cars. Nick would get distracted from work and do things like pulling off other people's windshield wipers. Connie would get frustrated and angry at Nick for not being able to do a normal job. Patton got the experience of having a disabled brother and how difficult it is in trying to include Nick in conversations and interactions in daily life. So that was pretty sick. Those are my facts.
Good. Okay. So, where do you want to start?
I don't even know. I don't want to sound like I watched this movie. I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
This is weird. Like I said, this movie was hard for me. I have literally two sentences of notes, but I've watched the movie. I'm ready. But yeah, what a ride. Holy moly.
Dude,
this is crazy.
The opening of this movie is so I don't know, bizarre, almost feels real. Like we're appearing in on a session of sorts, of this guy doing an evaluation of Nick, right?
Yeah.
And them just having a conversation, like him just asking him questions and him getting frustrated and mad, and then you get him revealing like little bits about the character and how like he's there because he must have attacked their grandma or their mom, or I think it's their grandma, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that it's like talking about like doing the word association game. He's like oh, you know, what would you connect? What was it? A pot and like. I forget what he's like. I forget what the two things the guy says.
Scissors.
Scissors. He's like pain or hurt.
He's like, you can hurt somebody with them.
He's like, oh yeah, that's good, that's good. And then he like comes back to that. He's like, so why'd you say that? And then he starts talking about what happened with his grandma, and then Connie just blasts in there. And it's just like I would like he doesn't like that his brother's being evaluated, doesn't like anything about the situation, so he's like immediately just blowing it up and pulling him out of there, and like thinks that he knows better and how to take care of his brother when he's clearly unable to take care of himself. But like that's what he chooses to do, right?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, that scene there, he's like, you finally get like maybe a crack of progress. Like he's like, I hurt my grandma, or my grandma yelled at me, and I threw the pan against the wall. And then like he's starting to talk about himself and stuff. And then like Connie bursts through the door and he's like, nope. And we're like, oh, okay. And we immediately go from that to a bank robbery.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell's going on, dude?
Dude, I got another like quote from like right after that, right? So like they do the robbery, right? And the whole time he's like grabbing, like he's like talking to his like brother during it, and like he's writing notes to the person behind the counter, and then they're wearing these like big masks, and then he's talking to Nick. Connie says, "You're incredible. Do you understand?" And Nick goes, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm serious. Do you think I could have done that without you standing next to me, being strong?" And he's like, "Are you feeling this? Are you feeling as good as I'm feeling right now?" And Nick's like, "Yeah, I'm cold." Connie's like, "You're cold?" He's like, "Yeah." It's like, let's go to Virginia, man. This is like their plan. Like what he told Connie was that they were gonna steal, I guess, money and then go live on a farm out in the country. And then that is not what happens. I was like, I love too, like he had the money, right? Or had what money that the woman would give him, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then demanded.
This is a theme throughout the movie.
Yeah. Then demanded what, $60,000 or something? Like, what was he asking for?
I don't know if it's an exact amount, but he wants money, and the guy, the cashier's like, all right, this is what I got, policy. And he's like, no, I want more. And then she goes back, and then of course that bag ends up having the red ink
dye
pack in it, or dye pack in it. And that's what ultimately ends up causing, the issue. Is if he just would have been like, oh, okay, cool, this is fine, maybe he gets away. I don't know,
And they're like, they get caught because like, and I think we would have been fine too if Nick wouldn't have been like the cops stop. Connie's talking to him. He's like, "Well, what's going on? Like, it's a problem." And he's gonna talk his way out of it. He is a smooth talker. He's charismatic the whole time and can lie in an instant. And he's right there. But Nick, as soon as they like start to like even like try to get like say, "Hey, look at us," Nick bolts.
Yeah.
And then after Nick bolts, Connie takes off too, and runs ahead of him and leaves him. Essentially, like he can't see him. Does like I think he even like stops at one point and turns back and yells over here, and then like takes off running again. And then Nick gets like flustered because he doesn't see Connie, doesn't know where to go, and he runs full on into a plate glass window.
Yep.
And then he's caught, and then we follow Nick for a little bit, right? And he's being like locked up, and he's going through it, like
yeah.
They're like, and we're watching like it's so weird, like it's so weird because like it's very clear that he has issues and he has got developmental problems and he's deaf and there's all these things and he's still like locked in like a normal like prison. Like it's like he's not being like there's like they're trying to convince him to like this wasn't as much you as you thought it was. Connie convinced you to do this, and he's like, no, we're partners, and that's ultimately why he ends up where he does, and then he gets the ever living crap kicked out of him, and he's got to be in the hospital. But during all of this, Connie is is laid low, I guess, for like a week. Because I'm pretty sure it said it was like a week later, right?
I don't know if it was a week later.
Because I thought they were hunting him for like a week. And then he goes to a bail bondsman who is for sure not reputable because he's taken this money, even though it's hit with a die pack. And he takes what money he can and then says he needs 10 grand more to get his brother out. So then we're introduced to Connie's significant other.
I don't want to get too far forward. There's a couple things I want to say. So when they are getting away from the bank robbery and then the bag starts to tick and that explodes. Yeah, that hit me a lot because like Nick doesn't know what the hell's happening.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? Like Nick doesn't get that there's dye in the money or like, you know, like he's freaking out.
And also he's hard of hearing too.
Yeah. So he Connie pulls him out of the car. And he's just, you know, they're both covered in like red paint, and they go into like what, a Pizza Hut or something?
Yeah, Domino's. Yeah, it's Domino's Pizza.
Yeah, and they go in the bathroom, and you know, like the employee's threatening, like I'm gonna call the police. And he's like, I just need a minute. And Connie's like trying to get the paint off his face, and they pan over to Nick, who doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and he's like taking water from the toilet, and just rubbing it on his face, desperately trying to get that stuff off. And then they change their clothes. And Nick is upset about having to lose the pants.
Yeah, because he likes the pants.
He likes those pants. And then, of course, he gets caught. He doesn't know what's happening. And then, he gets the crap beat out of him as a result of him wanting to change the channel.
In prison, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, which, again, I wouldn't have expected him to know. Like, he doesn't understand that, like, oh, yeah, I left and somebody else came in here and turned something else on. Like, I can't just, like, you know,
I want
the TV back.
Yeah, it's
for
mine.
everybody.
I want this. This is mine. So, like, and he just gets multiple people, too, just beating the crap out of him.
Yeah. So, and then, all right, then we get the bail bondsman. By the way, not a fact I didn't put in here, but I'll bring it up now. That's a real bail bondsman.
Yeah.
That's a normal dude. They originally approached that guy and they told him, like, hey, I want to use your shop for a scene. And he was like, okay. And then, like, through, like, the production stuff, they kept talking to him more and more, and they, like, really liked him and his wife. And they're just like, why don't we just reshoot the scene and you guys can be the people? And they were like, yeah, sure. And so those are the people that own that bail bonds place, which is still open today.
I mean, that place is, like, not saying that the guy in real life is unreputable, but, like, they're
he looks like a bail bondsman.
In the movie, he is definitely unreputable because he's like, he knows that this is like money from a crime. It's covered with like paint from like the pack, from the dye pack. And he even says like, I took what I could. You got to give me the rest of the money and I'll get your brother out. And I think it's because he knows, like that guy would know that he's not going to come back. Like I'm going to get to keep this money because he's going to run on bail, right? Like, so no problem. But yeah, then the scenes with like at first I was like, who is this woman, and why is she like what? Like she looks older than Robert Pattinson in like this movie. I think it's like kind of like his, I don't know, his I don't know. I almost want to say sugar mama, but like she's not. She doesn't have a lot of money. She's like leeching off of her mother, and like they together like she's his mark. I would say like he knows that he can get whatever he wants. And she the whole time he's telling her about his brother. He's like, I told you about my brother. And he's like going through all this stuff. He makes up this story about how the person at the group home that he's like at, because he's doing all this stuff. He doesn't even like it there. Seemingly he doesn't care. He's just like, he's there doing this thing because he has to. And then he lies about saying that he's getting touched by one of the people and that he fought back and the guy's pressing charges and now he's in jail. Yeah. He's in Rikers, by the way.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, you see this a lot throughout the movie, but yeah, an early iteration there of like manipulation. Like he's clearly lying to her, and then what does she do? She's going to give him the card, and then when it's declined, she realizes her mom had like cut it.
Yeah, dude.
And so she calls her mom, and you get that manipulation again. She's like, I'm just trying to do something nice for somebody. Like, and I felt that a lot because I feel like, you see that in life. Like people are just trying to like lay it on as thick as they can to get something from you or to get in with a certain crowd and all that kind of stuff. It's wild.
No, then like the whole argument, and then during that scene we get the revelation of like, oh, he's not even in jail right now. He can't get released if we wanted to. He's in the hospital because he's been taken. He's like, oh, he's in the hospital, and then I think he does he ask him what hospital he's at?
Yeah.
He gets that from him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he like. I thought he had to like find that info, but regardless, he ends up at that hospital and has to like figure out where his brother's at in this hospital.
Yeah.
And goes to the cafeteria and he's like finds a guy and starts complaining to him about the cops. Like, why are so many cops here? And the guy's like, what? He's just trying to eat his lunch. He's like, the cops outside my dad's room. He's like, what room is your dad on? Or like, what floor? Third floor? He's like, not supposed to be any cops on third floor. Like, prisoners on the fifth floor. He's like, that's why I'm gonna go complain to somebody. And he just leaves. He gets his info and he leaves. And then like he's so good at like, you know, sliding in and out without being like really noticed, right? Mm-hmm. And it comes back later on in the movie. He slides in to like he pretends to be somebody later on in the movie and gets away with it to the cops who are actively looking for him.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, like watching him do that. But I like then he's so like I don't say blunt or like brave or like I don't know, confident. He goes up to the cop outside of the room to try to like chat him up, like to ask him like you want anything from the vending machine? Like just like, and then he like goes like no, and like he's just trying to gauge whether or not he's going to leave anytime soon. And then he hides inside of a room. And in order to get the person to not like make any noise or like say anything, he like goes and like feeds them some food and like
gives her orange juice that he then, after she's done swigging, he then swigs.
Yeah.
Yikes.
He is no shame, dude.
Yeah. But I thought that was, I didn't even think about that again till now. Yeah. That's kind of a funny, like, what a manipulative thing, because he walks by, he's like, hey, you need anything from the vending machine? And the guy's like, no. And like thinking about it now, it's the first time I thought of it. I'm like, he was planting the vending machine idea in his head. Because like he waits in the room for a couple hours, who knows how long. And then the guy's like, hey, I'm going to go to the vending machine. And yeah, he brought that up to get the guy thinking about what stuff would be at the vending machine to leave. Ingenious.
Plants the seed in his head. You know? And then he goes into the room and the guy, his brother is covered in bandages and he like wraps him up and puts him in a chair to take him out of the hospital to escape with his brother. And like, I also love too, when he's at the bail bondsman, he asked for his money back. He's like, can I get that 10 grand I gave you? Or can I get the money that you got? He's like, no, it's in my safe. It stays in the safe. Because he knew that he wasn't like, he immediately was like, I don't need the bail bondsman anymore. I'm going to go get my brother out and then I'm going to like, we'll be good. I don't need I can get my money now. I'll come back. He even says, I'll come back with the rest of it later. But his plan is to never go back. His plan is to take his brother and get out of there. And then they get out. And then he even, he manipulates the person at the bus too. Like he's like, hey, do you mind if like they're outside in the cold too. Yeah. And he says, you mind if my brother goes on first? He doesn't have a coat, even though he's wrapped his own coat around him.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it's fine. Like just asking. And then like they get on the bus and then they're on the bus. And the whole time, like we get so many shots like of just like Robert Pattinson I can't remember his Connie. We get shots of Connie constantly, just like
looking around.
Solo shots of him though. Mm-hmm. It's not like he's so solely focused. It's all about him. Like everything is like, I know that he's like painting it for like his brother or whatever, but it's because he feels like a piece of crap for getting his brother caught. Like he selfishly he wants his brother to be normal. He wants his brother to be like a part of everything that he does because he doesn't want to feel alone in being crappy. He doesn't want to be, shitty on his own. And we get so many shots where we're just getting shots of just Connie. Like we're on the bus and like we never get a shot of Nick. We don't get a shot of like hardly anybody else. It's like most of the time he is in frame. And it's a lot of solo shots. When we see shots, it's not people together. It's just people. Like there's a man and a woman waiting to get on the bus, right? And we just see her when he asks the question. When he's talking, like, and then we get a shot of a security guard behind the counter. And then we get a shot of the bus driver, and it's just the bus driver, and it's just Connie on the bus. It's so low, like it's everybody.
It's almost
by
like
themselves.
it's what Connie's looking at in the moment. Like he's asking the lady, and he's like looking at her, and he's looking back at the guard. And, you know what I mean? It's kind of like what he's actually looking at.
Yeah, the only times in which what I'm trying to get at is the only times in which we have Connie and someone else in frame. It almost seems like it's a shot of him trying to control the other person.
Them.
He's trying to get something out of it. Like he's so solely focused until he needs something, and then when he needs something, it's okay to bring somebody else into his world, and then he's on his own again.
Yeah.
So, like useful, discard. Useful, discard. And like that's the way it goes.
This is ridiculous, but I don't want to get too far from this. The only thing in this entire movie that gave me a little pause was when he grabs his brother from the bed. A bed alarm goes off.
Yeah.
And my wife has worked in healthcare for 15 years. Actually longer than that, like 20 and whatever. And like when that happens, like those bed alarms are put on for people that are like, people that are, they don't want to get out of bed, or, if you're a prisoner, or, you wouldn't want them moving around. And like he's somehow able to get him out into the wheelchair and like out of the hospital without anybody noticing the bed alarm going off. And that I just find a little hard to believe. Everything else though, yeah, I buy it.
Yeah, they don't really do anything to like show how he because he leaves that room. There's no alarm. You can't hear the alarm.
You can't hear the alarm anymore. Yeah. So then I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't
sorry.
know.
So they get away, and then he.
Well, so that's another manipulation, right? He gets off of the bus. Like he's gonna get off the bus. Or he knows that they're not on the bus schedule. Everybody has a spot that they're getting dropped off of, and then the bus driver's like, "I didn't have you guys on the route." He's like, "I called and I talked." He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, "Dispatch." He's like, "Where are you at?" He's like, "I'm literally like 2 blocks." He's like, "Well, like 15 minutes, 2 blocks, or 2 blocks." He's like, "No, like 2 blocks." So he doesn't have him drop hit. Like he doesn't just get off at the bus at the same person as the last person, but he notes where the last person was. So that way later on, when the bus driver inevitably has to lead the police back, he's taking them 2 blocks away, and then they're already back at this other place laying low.
Right.
Which is great. But when they go back and like, he's like, "Can I use your phone?" Like he's talking like to the lady to use her phone, and then he gets into their house, and once he's in their house, he's now no longer going to be there to use the phone. He's going to be there until 7 a.m. when his fictitious mother gets off work.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's an idea that she had, like she has planted, because he's made a fake call to say, "Oh, you're still at work," and like he's, she's like, "Oh, when did she get off work?" He's like, "Oh, we're just gonna go up to the Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, and we'll sit there until she gets off." It's like till 7. So it's like, "So you sure it's like 10 hours from now or something like that?" She's like, "No, it's fine." And then her granddaughter is there, like in the house, and like she makes up stuff so that way she's like, "Oh, is it all right if I come in? So I need to find my thing." Like she's making up a story to come in so that way she can be like nosy about who these people are and like figure out like what's going on with him. And he has stolen hair dye from their bathroom and is dyeing his hair actively. And she's like, "Did you take the hair dye?" He's like, "Yeah, I did." Like it was like I borrowed it or something like that. It's like so weird, dude.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, I hope you didn't get the hair dye from the bottom. I don't know what color your hair is going to be." And it ends up just being blonde. That was a little anticlimactic for me. I was hoping it was going to be like red or green or just something like nutso, but it's just blonde. Another note I didn't mention earlier, but I did see this too. So they had to dye Pattinson's hair several times during production, and it actually really effed his hair up. And he had chunks of hair falling out. And so he ended up having to shave his head. And actually, spoiler for the end of the movie, he does get caught eventually. And the mugshot of him shaved was taken after production ended. That's when he shaves his head. So
that's good. I mean, he definitely messed up his hair with the the blonde dye.
He's got some it's like some thick fluid in that hair, dude.
So like that whole interaction in that house is so weird, and then like I almost thought like that the granddaughter was lying about her age too, because she says she's 16, but like it does not seem like she's 16 years old.
Yeah, we get some weird. Yeah, so they're sitting down. So yeah, ironically, this is my second of 2 notes I wrote in my report. Connie and the girl watching Cops together. Like that's funny. Like
Oh,
you know what I mean?
And he says something.
Them.
He's like what he says when they're watching. You hear what he said?
Something about like turn this shit off or something.
Turn it off. I can't see them justify this or something like that. Because the scene that we're seeing is a woman with a knife coming out of a van and getting tackled by the police, and she falls on the knife.
Yeah,
and is like bleeding. And I was like, oh my God. And that he's like, yeah, turn this off. I can't watch it. I don't want to see how they're going to justify this. Like the cops are for sure the ones at fault here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they switch, and she switches to the news,
right? And then he's about to be on the news, and to avoid her from seeing it, he leans in and kisses her, so she's not paying attention to the news. And that was, I don't want to advocate for that, but I mean, again, this guy is like a Casanova in terms of like constantly being able to figure out ways to get out of shit he's in. And so when he did that, I was kind of like, this guy's nuts. And like, I'm like, oh man, what a quick thinker, you know? And then he literally, so like all right, that would be weird. I was fine with that, right? But then he picks her up and carries her to the bed. I'm like, that guy's a thinker. Now he's a stinker. Not a good idea. What are you doing? What are you doing,
dude?
This is weird,
dude. When he asked for food at one point too, that it was so weird. Like he's like in their fridge looking for food. This is a weird jump, but like she's like, there might be some chicken nuggets in there. They're mine or something like that. I was like, what is this house like? Because she's like, you won't find any food in there. I was like, what is going on?
She's got jars of liquid.
But yeah, the grandma has left this man alone in her home with her like young daughter, granddaughter. I don't know what I think it's granddaughter. But yeah, then the brother wakes up and it's not the brother.
No, that was incredible.
It's some other dude. Which on the second watch through, I couldn't remember whether or not that was what was going to happen, because I was like, was that what happened here? Because I feel like it happened, but I don't know if it was this movie. And it was this movie, and it was so jarring and fun. Like, and he's like, the dude's freaking out, doesn't know what's going on. And then when we get that dude's story, it is so bonkers. Like, like, oh my gosh, like that guy is like a peach in his own right. And when they like, he's like, okay, we're taking you back to the hospital. It's like, why would that guy ever agree to go back to the hospital?
He's like, why would I go back? Then I look, you know what I mean? Like I shouldn't have never left the hospital.
and then on top of that, his like I just like he just doesn't like I don't understand it at all. But yeah, he's like, oh, I got a call from the hospital. They gave me the wrong guy. He's like, we got to take him back. Then they go and then they stop at a White Castle. And he sends her inside to buy food with her own money, it would seem. Like,
yeah.
Because didn't she say she was hungry or something like that? So she goes in and buys food, and the other dude begs for food too. And then he gives his whole life story, or like the last day of his life. And it is a bonkers story. But the only piece of information that Connie holds on to during that story is that there is money hidden in a amusement park and that they can go get it.
Yeah, money and drugs, LSD.
Yeah, and he's like, we're going to go get that. We're going to get it right now. That's what we're going to do. That's our next move. That's what we do. And then the dude is telling him to leave the girl. He's like, why? Like, this is our ride right now. Like, what are you talking about? We leave her, then we have a stolen car. Like, it's a problem for us. You're an idiot. So he's like, immediately, like this guy's stupid. He's giving me too much information, and like I got to figure out a way to screw him over, but I need him for right now, right?
Yeah.
So he even like the guy does kind of like we get the scene where they're gonna drop him off at his house, which just so happens to be the other side of the amusement park, which is just fake, obviously. But the whole conversation with him and the girl, which that line is one of all timer for me. That is one of the best lines. Like he's going through, like he's like having this weird, deep like moment, trying to like go down to I guess the level of a 16-year-old. Like, what does a 16-year-old want to hear? And then And then he's like, okay, cool. I'm going to go take a shit in this guy's house. That was like, what is happening? And then they're they're breaking into this amusement park. Pattinson climbs the fence. Dude can't climb the fence because he's all messed up, which makes sense. Like, this guy's still been kind of like,
Yeah, he's in the hospital.
He's been moving too much
injured.
for a dude that dove out of a car that was going like 60 miles per hour, whatever the heck it was.
Yeah.
And then he's like, tell me where it's at. I'll go get it and I'll come back. He's like, no way. He's like, we're going to find another way in. Cause that guy knows, like, if I tell this guy, I'm boned. I'm never seeing this guy again. And then we get some of the most bonkers, like, Scooby-Doo stuff inside of the amusement park. And the security guard, who was the guy from Captain Phillips with Tom Hanks.
I'm the captain now.
That guy, yeah. That guy was in. Like, I think he's only been on a few things, but that was him. He was the security guard, and he says he's called the cops, and they might be taking him half serious at that point, but like they end up like Pattinson beats the crap out of him, steals his clothes, and then pretends to be
the security
guard and talks actively to the cops that are hunting him.
Yeah.
So that is like bonkers. Like he's so fun. That's, I think, what kind of leads at like the end of this movie, right? He's been with it the whole movie. He's been like charismatic. He hasn't like kind of dropped his guard. The only times in which he's ever been in trouble is when he doesn't like try to talk his way out of things or just calmly take care of something. When he gets out of the building at the end of this movie, he runs and tries to flee.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think the best thing about this movie is just the unpredictability. You know, things are happening and you just have no idea where they're going. I mean, just to think, like, basically half this movie happens because he takes the wrong guy out of the hospital. It's nuts. But yeah, he ends up leaving the amusement park with the dude that's not his brother.
Yeah.
And they end up going to the security guard guy's apartment. So they were just trying to find a place to go. And then, of course, they try to sell the drugs.
I think it was Connie's apartment.
No, that's not Connie's apartment.
You don't think it was Connie's apartment?
No, that's Dash, the security guard's apartment. 100%.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
I thought
that's his because he doesn't know that dog. Like, they don't know the dog. Connie comes in and he's got like he's putting the jacket down for the dog to smell it because that's the security guard's dog. That's how he's like, oh yeah, and then like the dog is chill.
Watch this movie twice.
Yep.
And I didn't pick that up. It's good on you. I love that interaction inside like the apartment too. He goes in and he hangs out with the dog.
Yeah.
To make it so the guy can't come in and steal the LSD bottle off of him. And he's like, the guy's like, I'll give you what was it, $1,000 for the bottle. And then he's like, nah, it's got to be 16 or something like that.
I think it's 15. Yeah.
He asked for
like way more than 10 though.
Ridiculous amount. And he's like, go to the bank and get me out the money or something like that. He's like, I'll come back with 2 and I'm leaving with the bottle or whatever. He's like, come back with 2. Then that guy leaves. And then Connie is like, he's like, I'm leaving. So he starts to take off too. And the guy freaks out. Dude, the culmination of like things that happen at the end of this movie is like bonkers.
Yeah.
Like he leaves the apartment, leaves that guy in the apartment with the dog outside, like
chewing on his arm.
And then he takes off outside of the apartment, and then everybody's like, well, how did they know to look for Connie and them there? And it could have been that the security guard said, hey, they realized, oh, this is the security guard. Maybe they're at his house. A few people, I think, speculate, just like were like, it was probably because the dog was barking like crazy, or people saw them entering into this dude's apartment and didn't recognize him and were calling the cops to report him. And then that's why they go inside of the apartment and go after the other dude that's in there, because they wouldn't have known that he was in the apartment otherwise, right? Unless somebody called about it or something, like they wouldn't know to go check the apartment.
I mean, I would like to think they would have been able to piece together the footage from the amusement park. You know what I mean? If they would have rewound that, they would have seen that guy getting beat up by Robert Pattinson's character. And then you would like to think as well, like they would have a way to track or trace the police vehicle that they take. Or maybe that's just a security guards. It's a police. Maybe it's just a security guard SUV from the Adventureland or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they spend the night there. They go there when it's nighttime, and then in the morning, that's when all the stuff happens with the the demands with LSD, and then he leaves, and then of course he gets caught, and then
Then
Ray's
plunge. Then his not brother having a freak out inside of the apartment, and then trying to shuffle to another apartment and falling like 7 stories to his death. I'm assuming has to be his death.
Oh my God! Yeah, he doesn't.
I mean,
he doesn't survive.
The guy's a cockroach. He might have, but yeah, it's that is wild, right? Like the whole like scenario, and then then they've got Connie. Connie cops to the whole thing, right? And so that way his brother can be released and go to like whatever group thing. He's with his grandma at the end, and they're like he's going into like a training room or whatever, like I guess a classroom, and they're doing a whole thing. They're doing an exercise, and then he's participating.
Yeah,
he's okay. Like it seems like Connie was saying, he doesn't want this. He doesn't want anything to do with this. And then immediately, as soon as he's in it, he's like, oh yeah, okay.
Well, I thought it was kind of cool. Like I lingered on that. I watched most of the credits because that scene continues to go on while the credits are rolling. So yeah, he gets brought to a room with a bunch of other people who are similar to him, and then they play this activity called Cross the Room, where they say a statement, and then if this is true for you, then you walk across to the other side. And so they're like, "Do you like candy?" And he doesn't move.
Yeah.
All right. They do a couple things, and he doesn't move. But one of the things they say is like, "Has a loved one ever lied to you?" And he doesn't move. And I took that like personally. Like I was like, I don't think he realized, you know what I mean? Like whatever Connie was ever lying. Like I don't think he has the ability to sense that. And so then like I forget like the next one or something talks about like, have you ever had somebody like hurt you or I can't remember what it was, but he kind of like you could see him like wheels are starting to turn like, yeah, okay. And then he slowly walks across. And then like as the thing continues, you could see like he's starting to figure it out a little bit. And then it's just like movie ends. But like, yeah, man. I mean, that was some heavy shit. Like, I was like, oh, I feel for this dude a lot because you can tell like Connie, like, as spoilers, I did read some of the stuff online, like after the movie. Like you can tell Connie loves him, but not all love is good love. Like he's being loved by like a sociopath or a narcissist. Like Connie's a nut.
Yeah.
And in some ways, like, or not in some ways, like, ultimately, that's not what's best for Nick.
No.
And so you see that, Nick ultimately does get where he needs to be. But, I feel bad for him having to get the shit beat out of him in a prison, in order to get there. So,
yeah.
And that's because of Connie. And Connie just literally, the entire movie, leaves a wake of destruction, literally and figuratively, throughout the whole movie. Like, that girl... That 16-year-old girl who he's taken advantage of in terms of like, using the hair dye and getting the food from her and having her buy him food and using the car. She gets arrested. Like they make it seem like she was the driver for the black security guard guy.
Yeah.
Like she goes down. Of course, Ray, who's a cockroach, you're right. But Ray falls off the 7-story thing. Like the driver that they're getting away when they're robbing the bank when that red dye pack explodes.
Yeah.
He crashes. I don't know what happens to him if he dies or if he just was hurt or what happened. But like everybody around that dude, good or bad, is not having a good time. Literally. So
do you know what the meaning of the movie title was for? Or I guess like what good time means?
I had read that like it's a jail term.
It's
right?
a jail term.
Slang.
Jail slang for getting out early.
Yeah, and then like when you're out early, you end up doing things that like aren't good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're having a good time.
Yeah, and then you usually end up coming back.
Ray would be the person, like Ray.
Ray's definitely on a good time.
Ray was having a good time.
Yeah.
I think his whole story about what he did after he got out was like, what has happened? Like, how do you go from like, I'm out, and then like, now he's drinking, and then he's at a drug dealer's apartment having sex with a woman in front of everybody. And then he's like, they're at an arcade, like, selling drugs to kids and stuff, and then like the one dude walks up, he's I robbed a Circuit City or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Hey, Circuit City, if you want to reach out to us for the pod, if you want to sponsor
Circuit City.
they're long gone.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, like it's I like this movie because it's I don't know. I feel like something is happening at all times, or you feel something at all times. Like it's tension. There's things going on. There's always a moving part, and you're watching. I guess like a story of characters, right? And Connie obviously is a bad guy. You don't want to like you can actively see him being trash, but like he's actively trying to get his brother, and everything is to. Like I said, selfishly, everything is for him. He's a narcissist. He thinks he thinks that his brother has to be with him in order to be in the best scenario or whatever. And then ultimately at the end of the movie, he is selfless in helping his brother. It says, "Yeah, it was me. I did all of it. My brother is innocent in this. We should be."
I wonder too. Like I hadn't thought of this yet, but just thinking now, like I wonder if Connie was manufacturing like some of the issues between Nick and his grandmother.
Oh, probably.
Because the movie ends with Nick calmly sitting with his grandmother. Like they seem chill.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ultimately, maybe they had problems and they hashed them out, or I don't know what. Like, but they seem fine. And like Connie was so apprehensive, like the grandmother, and then the grandmother speaks out so awfully against him in the news when she's interviewed. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the grandmother was trying to do right by him, and Connie's the one master puppeteer kind of thing.
Probably. I would say that Connie is for sure like the one that would be the bad. Like this guy sucks.
Yeah,
and he is. He's actively poisoning his brother against his grandma, and his brother doesn't understand. So he's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Like you wouldn't lie to me. Yeah, well, you're my brother. Yeah, like. Everything, like every moment at the beginning when he's asking him like, how do you feel? He's like, hot. He's just like, what? He
doesn't get it.
Yeah, he's not with it. He doesn't get it entirely. So it's whatever he says is like kind of going. And I don't think that's like I think you're right. And I don't think the grandmother holds anything against Nick at all, because I think she's like, Nick wasn't the one doing it. It was Connie telling him that I was bad and he was causing problems. And now that he's gone, we can live normally and we don't have to deal with it. And as soon as Connie gets out of prison, it will probably be, it'll be a backslide. He'll come try to get his brother back, and his brother won't understand and think that he's out for the best thing. And
I don't think Connie's getting out of prison anytime soon.
Well, what all did he do that I guess it would keep him in for a very long time?
A bank robbery.
He did rob a bank. I wonder how long. I wonder what kind of sentence comes along with that. He was actively doing like crimes the entirety of the night. He beat up a dude at Adventureland. Odds are like
drug possession.
Who knows what they said about him and the minor that he was with too? Like
yeah.
The drug possession, the bottle of LSD. Dude, that reminded
breaking a prisoner out. I mean, that would count.
Oh yeah, dude, that's
he
ain't
right. Getting out.
Not for a while. Yeah, you're right. No. Dude, that bottle of LSD reminded me of like I forget who it was. What's the Two Bears podcast with Bert Kreschner and
Segura.
Segura told a joke about going back to like a high school reunion or something like that and drinking a bottle of LSD.
What?
Yeah, like it was. I'll have to find it for you, but he was like he almost died.
I don't see why you wouldn't.
Well, I don't think he understood. Like he had tried it before and had like a capful mixed into a bottle of water or something like that, which apparently was it how you would take it back then, or how you take? I have no idea.
Yeah.
So, but like the dude gave him a water bottle full, and he thought it was mixed already, and it was just straight LSD, and he took like a big swig of it, and he was in a hospital.
Whoa.
Yeah. So. Wild stuff. But yeah, this movie was good to me. I don't think it was. I don't know how it was rated. You would probably know better than I am. I did try to look at some of the ratings on movies.
Are you teeing me up? You team me up right now?
Sure am, buddy.
Rotten Tomatoes 91%.
Very good. Okay.
Audience rating 82%.
Yes.
IMDb 7.3 out of 10. Everybody likes it.
See, I knew that we had tiptoes. That's why I picked. Well, I did spin. I did spin my wheel, and I picked this one because I was like, this is good, because I've been spinning the wheel and picking them to watch on my own if I ever wanted to. But Good Time came up, and I was like, I think Brenden will like it. It's one of those like crime movies that you kind of like. I know you like, that kind of like, crime suspense. It's for me. I can't pinpoint what exactly I like about this movie. I just like it, and I know I like it. So I was like, I want to watch it. Brenden, you're gonna watch it. So I hope that you enjoyed it.
I did.
I know I enjoyed it. So
give the people what they want.
Still recommend?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I recommend as well. So, thank you guys all for joining us on this episode of the podcast. We appreciate you. We really do. We love you for being here.
We do love you.
If you could tell people about the podcast, if you could share it, if you could share our Instagram videos, or like our Instagram videos, we're doing really well over there. Life's not fair.
It's not.
It's not fair. And we appreciate you if you could go leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast from. Like, subscribe. We're on YouTube, the Recommended Podcast. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram, Recommended Podcast. We're on X, the Recommended Podcast. We're on TikTok, the Recommended Podcast. We're pretty much everywhere as the Recommended Podcast, except for Facebook, where we are the Recommended. Mm-hmm. So if you could go leave us a comment on a movie you want me to add to my wheel, I'll happily add it. And if we end up with the same movie getting added, it just weights it more toward that, so it could end up being picked more likely. I'm going to, any recommendations that were from an audience member, I'm going to weight them more heavily than my own like adds to the wheel. And whenever Brenden gets on and adds movies to the wheel, they'll have more weight.
Do I need to? There's like 199.
Sure, go for it. But we appreciate you. Brenden, did you pick a movie for the next episode?
I do have a movie we could do. I was thinking I would do it, but like, were you telling me my next movie? Were you saying that Good Time was your pick off of the wheel?
No, I was saying I picked it because I told you last time. You didn't like the wheel, but I was using it to pick my movie, so it didn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I took that. I was confused. I took that to mean like you picked a movie, my next movie, using the wheel.
I could give you your next movie if you like.
No,
I have a really good movie I think that you would really like, and it would actually be fun. I actually watched it last night, so it would be. I wouldn't have to watch it again. But if you don't, if you don't have
give
a
me
movie,
the movie, and then I'll say that movie, or I'll say the movie I was gonna do.
Okay, so the movie that came up on the wheel that I watched last night was The Gentleman with Matthew McConaughey and Charlie Hunnam, and there's so many people in that movie. It's great. It's a Guy Ritchie movie. It's about like a drug dealer in England, and it's like the story about how they're like, it's kind of like a whodunit almost, like you see in the whole thing play out from the outside perspective. It's a fun movie.
I was thinking about doing Face Off.
Oh, Face Off's good too.
Let's do The Gentleman. Let's do it.
I know it's on Netflix, and you know what? I can do Face Off for my next one.
Yeah, we'll do The Gentleman next. Maybe we'll do Face Off. You can pick or something else.
I'll let you know. We'll spin the wheel. We'll see what comes up.
We'll do.
All right,
The Gentleman.
So the Gentleman for next week.
There you go.
We appreciate y'all. We will catch you next time. Brenden, do you want to send us out?
I don't. This movie made me cry. Okay, it's good. You should go watch it.
Hey,
I don't got anything else.
Hey, listen. I feel like
we love you guys like Connie loves Nick.
I feel like that there's something happening right now and tonight, and I feel like you might be connected to it in some way.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go take a shit in this guy's house, and we'll be back next week to watch the next one.
That's right.
Bye.